Thank you guys so much and welcome back to Dragonmore Gaming. And we're doing Dyson Sphere today, and we're gonna keep working on it. So I think last we left we were working on fluids, I believe. Try out these try out the water, try out the oil, see how it goes here. Alright, so let's give it a shot. But before we get started, guys, I just wanted to quickly mention too, so I've been super excited about this game, and I just haven't been even able to wait for play. So this is my second play session. Just wanted to kind of emphasize that, right? Like the second day of the game comes out, like I feel like a kid on Christmas, right? So and by that I mean, and we'll get one of these queued up. So we definitely are super excited that this game is out, but more importantly, we need iron ingots. I don't know why we don't have iron ingots. We do. Alright, we'll figure that out in a second. But I just want to tell you the quick story that so I figured out the sorter issue, right? Like I feel like I figured it out while I was sleeping. If you guys remember, so we have level 1 and level 2 sorters, but what we've realized is that the further away it is, like if it's one tile away, if you will, it moves at half speed. I was like, well, that's weird and interesting. So like the Mark II sorter, for example, does 1.5 trips a second when the belt is 2 spaces away. But the level 1 sorter also does 1.5 trips, but only at 1 space away. So the level 2 sorter is twice as powerful, twice as efficient, twice as fast. But you're like, okay, well that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And so what I realized is that there was some of these patterns over here, though, which I want to double check here. Yeah, if you look at this pattern, it says that iron is 2 to 1. So you use the level 1 sorters. So this is what I found out, is that it's just very simple, but these patterns are balanced. And so that the 2 iron and the 1 copper is meant to be balanced, that you put the iron as close as you can with the level 1 sorter, and you put the copper 1 space away with the level 1 sorter, and guess what? It's at 0.75 and it's at 0.15. So it's half as efficient, i.e. double the efficiency the closer it is, which, oh, by the way, just happens to be the ratio that it needs to work correctly. So I'm like, well, wait, that's how they work. That's how it's intended. So I just want to share that with you guys, to be like, so these patterns are meant to be like that. They're set up this way that it's a 2 to 1 ratio, because they mean for you to use the same level 1 sorter for the 2 different belts, and whatever one is higher, whatever one requires more, is the one you have to keep closer to the actual assembler. So it's a 2 to 1 iron to copper, which means that the iron needs to be closer than the copper. Oh, and we're still doing research, so we got semiconductors now. Cool. What does that do for us? We have semiconductors, which is a 2 to 1, the same thing as the circuit boards. It's a 2 to 1 iron to copper, and it gives us semiconductors, or it gives us microcrystalline components, which I think links to processors later. And we don't have any research, so we'll have to do something about that. So guys, that's what so I feel like I figured this out in my sleep. I just want to let you know, guys, that like I've been so excited about this game, and just having these, I've been super excited about, between Factorio and Satisfactory, and then when this game came out, I was super excited about it, that I got I literally woke up early. I woke up 2 hours before my alarm went off, and I was just like, okay, I'm awake now. And I couldn't go back to sleep because I was thinking about this game. And this is what I came up with. I'm like, wait, like I'm just sitting there in bed thinking about, like, I want to go back to sleep, but I'm like, but these sorters, they don't make sense. I don't understand what's happening here. Why would it be half the distance and half the speed? And then I realized because it's the patterns are a 2-to-1 ratio, and that's the full intent here. That's what it's trying to tell us, is that 2-to-1 is so you keep the belts, you know, whatever the one's the higher one closer and the lesser one further. Guys, figured it out, and it figured it out in my sleep. I feel like I had like almost no sleep and figured this out for you guys. So just want you to know that this is super fun, super excited about this, and we're figuring it out. All right, and then we have this problem for some reason. So why won't you do this? So like, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, you have what you need. I feel like this is an alpha bug. These are clearly magnetic delia. Yeah, this was working before I loaded the game, so I don't know what's happening here. So we'll chalk this up to alpha bug, as you know, alpha game is alpha. Alright, so let's see, can we like pick any off this thing? But yeah, so that's what I want to share with you guys. This is kind of the first big thing I figured out here. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out what's going on with, and maybe it's just as simple as deleting the sorter and replacing the sorter. Please do the sorting. Okay, there it goes. Alright, so we'll chalk that up to a bug that needs to be fixed. But alright, so that's rocking and rolling now. Alright, we're back to automated research. Perfect. Okay. We'll stand by this thing, we'll get power. Alright, so yeah, that's just what I want to show you guys today. But the goal of today, besides showing you guys that little trick, is just, you know, something crazy that I just realized about the sorters and the recipes. So we do want to do fluids today. We're going to figure out how to do fluids, and by that we're going to do, alright, oil refinery, which we can't make. And that's right, because we need a steel, and we need steel, we need silicon, right? That's the goal? Is that what it's trying to tell us? No. We need iron. Why don't we have iron? Can only be produced at smelting. So like, you have to produce steel at smelting, so you can't do it yourself. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Guess we'll do that then. Alright, so to double check. Alright, production smelting. So a smelter says that if we're gonna do steel, which is this guy, we just need the iron plates. Right? Alright, iron ingots, right? I keep using the satisfactory terms. Okay, so iron ingots. Where are the iron ingots? Alright, so one of the things I do want to do is that, so I've got way too many iron ingots in storage here, so I just need to kind of merge these together, or just continue this little path here. There's no reason for this many iron plates going into storage. Alright, so we're going to have to fix that. Or we're going to have to use this line here. Okay. What do you guys think? We'll do, so our two options are to either pull off this line and just say, nope, we don't need all this, we're going to have smelters for steel, or we're going to take the iron ingots that are coming down here and pull them off somewhere and say, okay, now we got steel. So I'd like to merge these together at some point, and it might require moving some of this stuff. So I'm going to pretend that this is what we want. This little thing here. Alright, so we're making circuit boards, and I'm gonna pretend like we're gonna keep making circuit boards for a certain amount of time. So let's do this. Let's do something crazy, because you know, like we like to do it crazy. We're gonna do, why make one, right? You know the story. Why make one when you can make 2 or 3 or 4 for the same price? And by the same price, I mean every additional one. Alright, so we're going to be making that. That's going to take some power, but that's going to take some materials. And we're going to get some constructors. And what we're going to do is that we're gonna make enough constructors for the circuit boards. I don't know how many circuit boards we'll need in the future, frankly. So this is completely guesswork. But just for the sake of, you know, trying to make sure that we're covered, we're gonna put something there, a little power. I'm just gonna go nuts with this, right? And we're just gonna pretend like we're gonna need all these. And then once we get to this point, we're like, okay, well, we've cleared the 3 the iron smelters here, and we got more iron smelters there. You know what? Let's just do one more, because you know what? Let's just keep making more. Let's say that we'll need even more of these, you know, magnetic. What are they called? These deals, just straight up magnets. Okay, got it. All right, so shift copy to here. No. How do we do this again? Oh yeah, greater than, less than. There we go. Okay, so now that's making that. And then we'll do sorter goes into there. Get a few more. Come on. Oh, yep. Hotkeys are weird. All right. Bam. There it goes. And then we need the sorter from here to there. All right, we're good to go. All right, so now we got more magnets going. Perfect. All right, so we got all these, and now we're like, okay, well, we're gonna have the iron plates, or the iron ingots rather, come down this way. Actually, I've made these first, but this is probably where the splitter is gonna go. So we're gonna take the splitter. I'm gonna do it there. Does that automatically figure it out? I hope so. All right, and then we're gonna have this go this way. Now I'm gonna have it go at this level because I feel like we can have the magnets actually do the vertical distance and then back down if we need to. So just for simplicity, we're gonna do it this way. Okay. All right. So, all right, this is not going in. So we need this to go in. Okay, so now the iron ingots are going in. And we need the iron ingots, whoops, coming out. Just so we have a, yeah, so it's the true splitter here, so we have different paths going on. Okay. And we'll just delete that for now, so we know that we'll have to change that in the future. Whoops. Okay, so we have iron ingots, and we need... I'm trying to remember what all we need. So we need steel. And where is steel made? Steel's made in the smelter. And we don't have enough smelters. Hopefully that'll give us enough smelters. Alright, while we're getting smelters, we're going to go stand by the power thing. There we go. And we still don't have flight. Alright, so while we're waiting on that, we're going to check on our research. And this is coming soon, so we don't need that. That takes the red, which we don't have yet. Oh, there you go. And this is how you unlock red. So I feel like that's important, so we should just go ahead and get that. This only takes the blue, so we can easily get that. This gives us the chemical plant. Okay. Converts the crude oil into more advanced stuff. Okay. Including plastics and sulfuric acid. So we'll just throw that in the mix. And that requires the red, so we can't really get that yet. This only requires the blue, so we probably could start this. Let's see if there's anything cheaper. Photon frequency. Alright, what is it? What are these guys? Alright, so photon combiners. Alright, so that's a component. An assembler. Alright, recipe for the photon combiner. Alright. So this just seems like an advanced component, basically. Alright. But for energy storage, which would be nice, we need to get crystal smelting, which does require the red version. So red requires red for the titanium. And this one requires red energy matrix for that one. Okay, so I guess the easy thing to do is to get the processor, because that only requires the blue. Alright, and then the rest of these will require red, so we're going to have to automate red here soon. As soon as that's done, we'll have to figure that out. But okay, so while all that's doing its thing, again, we need fluids. I don't know why. I don't know what they're going to be used for, but we're going to do it. Alright, so we needed steel. We still haven't made steel yet. Alright, so we said steel is made in a smelter, and we're going to do that. Alright, let's go with here. Alright, actually, this game, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right, so I'm going to do the belts first. Alright, and we're going to have the belts go back along the same way here. Okay, and then we're going to do the smelters along this path. Alright, we're going to start with 3 smelters for steel. Steel. Alright, and this, yep, requires the iron ingots. And copy. And paste. Done. Give me sorters from the conveyor belt. From that. Bam. Okay. Alright, so off and running. So we're making steel. And then once we're done with steel, again, I'm crazy this way, then I'm gonna have the belt coming back the other way. And then we're gonna have the sorters. Gotta wait for it to be made. Go, bots! And then... perfect. Alright. Alright, so we're making steel. Alright, so now the question is, where do we want the steel to go? Short answer is in a box. Alright, since I don't know where to put it yet, we're just going to throw it in a box. This is how I do it, so I'm like, okay, I'll figure out where it's going to go later. So in the meantime, it's going to go here. And the nice thing about this is I can put it off to the side, and I can just have a sorter at the end that just pulls it all off. Perfect. Alright, so now we're getting steel. Alright. So now we have steel going. We're gonna do... alright, so the oil refiner required steel. So now we can do steel. And that's gonna make... alright, so we have to make prisms, we have to make... jeez, the exciters, I think those are called. Yeah, plasma exciters. Now, the other thing is we don't have the silicon, right? So we're gonna have to find somewhere. It's like, yeah, silicon and titanium are gonna have to be on another planet. So, so just to double check, did we research? Do we have flight yet? Can we fly? Well, it's just if we double click the thing down, it doesn't seem like we can fly. If I hit M. Map, and then I zoom out to galactic view, and I'm like, I want to go here. I don't see a way to get there. But we got energy matrix. Okay, we got the red cubes. It's 1 of 5. I didn't realize. Okay. Remember reading that, but I'm like, I still can't believe it. I know there's blue, there's red, there's yellow, I think is the next one, and then purple, and I don't even know what the last one is. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna attempt to move to another planet just to see if we can. Is that that's the star? So we're not really moving there. All right, so this is definitely a planet. This is something we can actually land on, but it doesn't look like we can get there. So I don't think we have the right tech yet. All right, oh, new tutorial, recipe copy. Okay, yeah, I know how to do that. All right, greater than less than, perfect. Copy paste, love it. Alright, we got us some steel. Alright, so for steel, I'm like, okay, I made oil. we're gonna do an oil refinery. Wait, that's the refinery. So we need the extractor actually. Whoops! So we did this in the wrong order. Give us this one, please. Okay. All right, it's got to make all these parts now, but we're gonna get the actual extractor and then the refinery. So if the extractor's here, we're gonna have the refinery. We're gonna have it south of the location. I don't know how this is gonna work, and we're gonna want to gather here, unfortunately. Let's get a couple of these going too, just so we can get those placed down. Get all the resources the planet has to offer. All right. And since we're close by, we're just gonna stand next to this thing and get the power. Yeah. All right, power's back up. Okay. All right, so we're gonna make oil refinery and the oil extractor. All right, how we doing? Oh, here it comes. Oil extractor. Done. All right, oil extractor. It's definitely going on the oil. Lo and behold. All right, and then this, oh, it comes out from here? All right, interesting. All right, well, if that's the case, we're gonna have it point down. I guess I could have looked at this. All right, we're gonna have it go down this way because we're gonna put some miners for the iron up here. So I figure we'll just point it down this way. We'll have the refiners go down this past the coal. And then where we have the research, I think that's the tail end of that, supply chain, if you will. So we can put it next to that, and that's not a problem. That's the hope, anyway. All right, so oil refinery. You know what? Yeah, let's put it as close as we can. All right, let's do that. I like to do the this first, the belts first, just because if these come out this way, does this leave us enough room for the oil refineries? Yep, it does. Perfect. Done. And then the sorter, we'll go. I assume we need a sorter. Go in there. Yep.
This facility will produce multiple products. To divide them, you need to set a filter on the sorter. You can use Tab or the arrow keys on the right side of the keyboard to quickly set the filter when building the sorter.
Really? Isn't it just oil? Why don't you have power? Seems like a silly problem. Alright. Let's go with there. Why? Oh, yeah, because I'm not actually using a recipe here. Alright, so the only thing I can do so far is plasma-based refining. Alright, so I just realized the problem is if I make it this close, is there enough room? Oh, there is, okay. But there's not really much I can do with the research in the way there. Alright, this is going to be unfortunate. Can I pick this up? Okay, so I can just pick up liquids. Alright, so I can just, alright. Fine. That's cool. So I can pick up liquids in my inventory, that's cool. Alright, so production, we need, oh no, gathering. Alright, I want to get all the things. So I think I have to do here. This needs foundations, basically. Alright. Is that too close? Needs foundation. Okay. Alright, let's do a quick foundation thing. Alright, if I was gonna do foundations, alright. Lay foundation. Veins. Vein restore, wait a minute. Buried veins. What does this even do? Alright.
Foundation, a terrain leveling tool. Yet we cannot use it to change the planetary landforms at will. We can only level the surface to ground zero. If the foundation is used for high grounds, it will gain soil pile. On the contrary, if it is used on the ocean or low-lying areas, it must consume soil pile. When installing the foundation, either choose a kind of decoration or without decoration, even only surface leveling.
Oh, okay. Lay foundation. We're gonna do foundation.
Insufficient required items.
What?
You can click the replicator button at the bottom right of the screen to open the panel and manually replicate these items.
I don't know what you want. I'm just trying to make foundations over here. Alright, so foundation is not a building, it's a component. Oh, it is way over in the corner. Okay. Alright. We'll get some foundations going here, so we'll be able to get all of that. That way I might be able to move this this refinery to the other side, just so I have some more room to work with. But at the same time, it looks like there is enough room, barely. So if I do this, whoops. Okay, and then that gets us, wait, what is, there's two outputs, hold on. There's refined oil and there's hydrogen. What are you gonna output? Ooh, alright, okay. So that's why they were giving us that little helpful tip about the hydrogen versus, or the sorter on the filter, because it's like, okay, one thing needs to be hydrogen, one thing needs to be refined oil. So we got two outputs here, which means we need two different belts, or we just put it all on the same belt and we pick it up later. I have to think about this. It's making 2 to 1. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, from what I got, what I told you guys earlier. So one thing it's making it 2 to 1. One thing it's making it 1 to 1. So you know from what I told you earlier which one's gonna have to go on what belt, right? So the refined oil is gonna be on the closer belt, and the hydrogen is gonna be on the far belt because it produces at a slower rate. But there's not enough room here, so I think I'll actually need to turn the belt here and give it enough room so that there's going to be two belts going this way, just to be able to get it going. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Well, if it'll let me delete this. There we go. Alright, let's just, not sure what I want to do, so I'm gonna delete the whole thing. Inventory, uh-oh. Alright, our inventory's full. That's not fun. Tell me about this. Inventory full? Oh yeah, I made a solar panel. Alright, well we're gonna put that down somewhere. As soon as I put this down. Alright. Okay, you master biochemical. Alright, so now we can do the plastics and the sulfuric acid, which requires, I think that's refined oil. That might be refined oil too. Alright, so the supply chain is getting more complicated. Alright. Alright, this will be interesting. Alright. So guys, alright, so we figured out oil, and we're gonna do it this way. Well, if it'll let us. There we go. I like to do it this way, and then that way we have the gatherer over here. That'll take up everything. Yeah, it just says assumes we need foundations, which hopefully we can make now. lack of item. Alright, but... So it's not building, it looks like it's just built automatically, so... Okay. Alright, what was I doing? Gathering, here we go. And of course that collides. God damn it. Just out of range. Alright, we're gonna have to do something silly where I think what we're gonna have to do is do this, and then once we clear all that, we'll have to rebuild this thing to move it 1 square forward. I think that's what we have to do, unfortunately. And then give it power. Alright, both those things have power. And sorters won't have power. Or no, you don't need sorters there. Okay. Alright, so we're going to be getting lots of coal. And we're going to have the oil come down here. We're going to have the oil refineries. I had one. Why don't I have one now? Don't understand. Am I crazy? I had a oil refinery. Where did my oil refinery go? Because it didn't go back to my inventory? Oh no, did I delete it? Oh no, alright. I didn't have enough room. And I got rid of it. Oh no. Alright, so there's a tip for you. So when you're collecting things up, make sure you have enough inventory room, because I think I just threw those away. Oh no. Alright. Alright, what does the tooltip say? Discard is delete. Right click, put back the item. No, I want to left click. I want to. Alright, hit the delete key. Oh, there we go. It's deleted for. Alright, get rid of the crude oil. Well, crap. We wanted our oil refinery, and we screwed ourselves. Alright, what do we need for this? Need glass. Glass, we need stone. Can we harvest stone? Not in any great supply, right? I feel like that's a problem. JK, there's lots of stone somewhere. Alright, so we'll have to figure that out. Alright, so we'll come back to that. We'll have to. So we got the oil extractor going. We need the oil refiner that we accidentally deleted because our inventory was full. But we'll put the oil refineries here, and we'll have the 2 belts coming off for the 2 outputs that it gives us. And oh, this guy is so close, but has no power. We'll pretend like he has power there. Alright guys, so I think that'll do it for this one, and we'll have to come back to the next time and continue doing the oil production with an oil refinery that actually works and that we don't delete. So guys, alright, so thank you so much for watching, and remember, stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next one.